Okay, this is an update of my Japanese studying progress using Mnemosyne and just living in Japan. Okay, so I started studying on 31st of May 2009, and today is the 12th of October 2010. And it's 500 days since I've seriously started studying every day, and I haven't missed a day yet, and I plan to keep going. Some of the problems I had was, especially this summer, the weather was so hot, and sometimes basically I did my repetitions and that was it. Sometimes I was going through the motions. It felt like I plateaued a little bit, and the time I was putting in was just a matter of putting in the time rather than getting a lot out of it. But my motivation varied from day to day. Generally, I'm glad I kept the streak alive and I just kept studying, but looking back, maybe it would have been good to take a break for a week, but I wouldn't have liked to go back and write all the kanji and memorize all the kanji again. In the end, I'm still having fun, and it's just part of my routine, and I can see myself getting better, especially like looking around at the different signs or reading Japanese that I get in the office, trying to pick things apart. I still have lots of room to improve. Okay, many of the cards I'm using for Mnemosyne are the ones I uploaded to the site, and you can get those cards right here. So when you click on cards and you go to the language section, click on Japanese and go right down to the bottom and click the last button, as I was the first person to upload all of these lists that I put together from various sources and stuff. I've updated some of the lists. So mainly I've been focusing on Sankyu and Yonkyu, and since I finished Sankyu and Yonkyu, but I continue to review them, I've just added the Nikyu, so I continue to do that. So I have my Mnemosyne open right now, and if I start going deck, activate categories, my method is basically in 2 steps. My first method, depending on the day, is I use these lists right here. So the Japanese prefectures for reading, Japanese weather, the Nikyu list, the Sankyu and Yonkyu list, along with some verbs. So I can activate these, and you can see the statistics that I have. So I use a plugin here, and it shows that I've forgotten 7. So ideally, I try to zero this out from time to time, but generally, the total cards, including the Nikyu stuff, is 4,448, and I haven't memorized this many. So if you subtract this from this, is the amount of cards I've memorized. Okay, and here are the repetitions that I will be doing in the next few days. Okay, if I go here and I activate just Sankyu and Yonkyu, you can see these are the ones that I've forgotten actually, but I've done the full total of 1,081. And usually once I finish these, I go into the writing portion. So as you can see, I have the basic kanji book volume 1 and all the lessons up to 22, and here's my progress. I think actually going through the book I'm at lesson 24 or 25, but I haven't input the stuff into the computer yet. And basically I've looked at the book and input all of the the kanji and the sentences and the stuff I think is necessary. So basically these are my study notes that I put into the Mnemosyne format and imported them into the software program. So as you can see, if I activate all of them, here's my progress. I still have 610 to go from a total of 1,818. So I've done two-thirds of the first book and part of the second book. But if I individually start clicking, like for example lesson 19, you can see I have 83, so I haven't really got to lesson 19 through all the repetitions. But if I go, like for example, lesson 5, oh, I've completed them all. Lesson 10, completed them all. I guess I'm probably going through the book and I'm probably at about lesson 16 maybe. Not okay, not yet. Okay. So as you can see, I've got a lot done, but I still have a lot more to go. Okay, so 16. No, I've done over 16. 19. So I'm around 17 maybe. Okay, it looks basically I'm really working through lesson 18 and I've done everything previous. You know, I still forget a bunch and there's some cards that I have major problems with and I've seen them about 200 times and I still can't get them or I forget them, but I just keep plugging away. So an example is that, you know, this kanji comes up for east and I think, okay, this is higashi. So on a piece of paper, I write down the kanji for higashi, then I click enter, and then I check myself. So this was fairly easy, so I'd mark myself 5. Okay, and then I'd keep going. So I'm basically getting the repetitions for writing the kanji through the basic kanji book study notes that I have here, and I should be adding more when I have time as I go through the book. And for my reading practice, I go through these lists. I'm actually finding the Nikyu words and the kanji quite difficult, but I just keep plugging away. So I'm pretty happy with my progress so far, and hopefully I can continue, and hopefully I don't miss a day. Day 500, and I just want to keep going, and I encourage everyone else to download the lists that I had over here and use them. If you have any comments, please leave them on the Mnemosyne site, or you can visit my blog at www.withinjapan.com and leave a comment. And I hope everyone continues to study and has success. Good luck.